Broadcasting live from the Jersey Shore, it's Coach Kev on the Damage 365 Radio Network.
And welcome back, everybody, to another episode of the Indie Super Show here on the Damage 365 Radio Network, also being broadcasted on Spotify, iHeartRadio, and many other podcast providers. I am Coach Kev, leading you the way today. We have a great show in line as we welcome in former Impact Knockout star Lei'D Tapa, Damage alum. So sit back, relax, we'll go to a commercial break, and when we come back, we'll be joined by Lei'D Tapa, the niece of former WWE star The Barbarian. We'll be back in a couple of minutes, and remember to continue to help the mom and pop stores and businesses in your area so they remain in business when all these restrictions in some of these states are lifted. And one of our sponsors in particular, the Funkenstein Wrestling Superstore. Reach out to them on Facebook at facebook.com/FunkensteinINC and find out when the indoor part of the Englishtown Flea Market is back open, and they'll be back serving you. Because right now they are doing pickups only, where they meet you outside in the parking lot. So basically like curbside service for the flea market. All outdoor vendors are allowed to set up, but right now indoors not. So reach out to them, and then you can get out there and buy your favorite wrestling memorabilia and collectibles at the Funkenstein Wrestling Superstore.
The following announcement has been paid for by the New World Order.
This is Thunder Rosa, and you're listening to Damage 365 Radio.
The Funkenstein Wrestling Superstore, selling wrestling memorabilia from all around the world, including WWE, Impact, ROH, Japan, Mexico, and the Indies. They sell action figures, lucha masks, t-shirts, trading cards, magazines, DVDs, autographs, collectibles, vintage video games, and more. Stop in and get tickets for local independent wrestling such as UWA Elite, CZW, and Synergy Wrestling. Located indoors at the world-famous Englishtown Flea Market, Blue Building, booths 45 through 48 at 90 Wilson Avenue in Manalapan Township, New Jersey. Open every Saturday and Sunday from 8 a.m. till 3 p.m. all year round. Visit them on Facebook at facebook.com/FunkensteinINC. New Jersey's largest wrestling store is the Funkenstein Wrestling Superstore. Tell them Damage 365 sent you.
This is the last pure athlete, Jordan Grace, and you're listening to Damage 365 Radio.
Esposito's Pizza and Pasta. Check us out at one of our fine locations, 930 Route 34 in Mattawan, New Jersey, or 233 East Main Street in Manasquan, New Jersey. From pizzas and salads to pasta and buffalo wings, we have something to suit every member of your family. Whether you're seeking to take out, delivery, or you just want to dine in, let us do the dishes, as we would be more than happy to take care of your next meal. Our courteous and friendly restaurant staff is here to meet and exceed all of your expectations. We promise an enjoyable experience at every time we serve you. Try our award-winning Sesame Crust Pizza, a recent winner at the Las Vegas Pizza Open. Visit us online at sesamepizza.com for store hours, menus, phone numbers to one of our great locations. Esposito's Pizza and Pasta. So close to eating at Mom's, but without all the yelling.
Hey guys, it's Tennille Dashwood, and you're listening to the Indie Super Show on the Damage 365 Radio Network.
Look at this photograph. Every time I do, it makes me laugh. How did our eyes get so red? And what the hell is on Joey's head?
Hey, wrestling promoters and booking agents, you know where you can get inexpensive prints of your hired talent? Right here at Fast Copy Printing Center, located in the Pearl of the Bay Shore. That's right. Whether you need 8x10s, 11x17s, posters, long format, or even weatherproof signs, we can do it all. We also can create promotional items for your business, such as pens, business cards, drink koozies, banners, or just a coffee mug. Stop on down to Fast Copy Print Center, 81 Broad Street in Keyport, New Jersey, or just call at 732-739-4646. No job is too big and satisfaction is guaranteed. Tell them Damage 365 sent you.
Hey everybody, this is Ted DiBiase, the $1 Million Man, and you are listening to Damage 365 Radio. And remember, everybody's got a price for the $1 Million Man.
The following announcement has been paid for by the New World Order.
And welcome back, everybody, and thank you for taking the time to listen to our sponsors. And again, we ask that you help contribute to the mom and pop shops in your neighborhood to help them through this pandemic. So when restrictions are lifted in your state, they will continue to thrive and serve us as a community. And at this time, we'd like to welcome in one of our favorite guests with Damage 365. She's a former TNA Impact star. She's an MMA star, Lei'D Tapa. Welcome back.
Hi, thank you for having me on.
Yeah, definitely. It's been a couple of years since we saw you. We brought you into a big event a couple of years ago with Eric Bischoff, Scott Norton, and Bob Orton. We had a pretty good weekend.
Yes, that was an awesome weekend. We need to do it again.
Oh, definitely. We might have to get you to come out with your uncle.
Yeah, that would be awesome.
Yeah, we do a little.
I'd love to do that.
Little family get together.
Yes.
Hopefully, no fighting over the dinner table. Like none of that kind of stuff.
Yeah, we don't want that to happen.
So, what have you been doing during this pandemic, quarantine, lockdown, whatever cliche you want to use? Like, what have you been doing to keep yourself busy?
Man, well, really, I've practically just been. A lot's been shut down, so I figured I'd turn my house into some kind of gym.
Okay.
So I've been just doing workouts on my own and with family and friends, just trying to stay in shape and be active, because a lot of the gyms here, basically everything, all the gyms are closed, so we can't do too much, but whatever, sometimes doing workouts outside of the house, but I went to the wrestling ring, started training here and there with just three of our friends, just getting back in ring shape. Because even with MMA and boxing, there's nothing really going on for me because of, the coronavirus spreading and stuff. So I just been trying to stay active and stay in shape and just have a positive mindset and wait for this thing to pass so can get back to the net,
some sort of normalcy.
Yeah.
Yeah, I see you're very active on Instagram, doing a lot of some like videos, kind of showing off kind of what you're doing, and And then there was some other ones where you know, striking a pose and doing stuff like that and getting all fancy.
Yeah.
Well, like you said, you're bored.
Trying to do something.
Yeah, you got to occupy your time somehow.
Yeah, so because of that, you know, a lot of things are going on even with this business that we have here in Charlotte from our barbershop, even a nonprofit that I started, which we hold at a gym. We have it called Women of the Carolinas Fight Life. We weren't able to get together like we usually do once a month, so a lot of things been online through Zoom, or just communicating through the phone, or making just doing videos and sending it out to the girls and women part of our program. So it's just different. It really is.
Yeah, everybody kind of feels like I guess what it would feel like if you were trapped in space in like a ship or on the moon.
Yeah.
So that's basically what they feel like, is like now all of us communicating through some sort of video chat or, you know, cell phones or smart devices. It's pretty much talking to somebody that might be abroad in the military or out in space. I mean, whoever thought that we'd be having like dinner dates via Skype?
Yeah, it's really different. It's just like, man, what is this world, you know? But I guess it's, you know, the most important thing is that everybody's safe and healthy to me. And I just can't wait for it to pass because it's just so much going on in the world with this and with protesting.
Yeah.
Just like, man, what's next? Everything is just like going crazy now.
I mean, you had the murder hornets, and I got some dust cloud coming, and I mean, it just I'm waiting for like a T-Rex to come out of the back of my house. You know, just something weird going on.
I know, but my focus on right now is just really just doing what I'm doing. I'm getting back in wrestling, but of course, even before this COVID, I had some things lined up, but because of it, it got canceled, you know, so it's just kind of, I'm just going with the flow and just staying ready for whatever.
Yeah, I mean, there's not really much you can do. I mean, you try to, you know, stay compliant with whatever they ask of you and the restrictions. I mean, there are some states running some wrestling shows now. I know Jersey, they did a couple like drive-in shows where they, you know, had the ring set up and they had cars kind of pull up to a certain point, spaced them out, and then people were allowed to sit in chairs in between some of the cars, depending on how far apart they were. If you had a pickup truck, you can back in and sit in the back of your truck. So, I mean, it was it's different and it was very interesting. I hope it's not the future of the business because you know, it kind of takes away from the whole close family-like atmosphere, you know, wrestling in, say, a VFW or a gym when you have 250 people kind of on top of you screaming and yelling. And, you know, it's not the same when you're, you know, someone's yelling from their car window.
Yeah, it's just so different. It really is. It's like, is this going to be like the new normal? Or
I hope not.
Like back to how it used to be, or
yeah, I definitely hope not, because it's you know, it would take away from what you guys do, and you know, that adrenaline rush you get walking down the aisle, and you know, people just screaming and yelling, and you know, you get that rush when you're walking up to the ring, and you know, they react to everything that you do in the ring, and I just feel that you know, if people are doing drive-in, you know, it's more of like going to a movie where people react, but you're not going to be able to hear them.
Yeah, it's not intimate like it is when you have to do this social distancing and going to a wrestling show and have to sit like 6 feet apart. Yeah. It's not as intimate. You're like cautious, you know. I notice a lot of people are just really cautious about a lot of things they do and really into a lot of Lysol and hand sanitizer, you know, which I'm not knocking but it's just so different because everyone's real cautious about everything.
Yeah, and it made me laugh. Like at the beginning, I was like, how dirty were these people that like you can't even buy a bottle of sanitizer in a store? Like, what were these people doing prior to the coronavirus? Yeah. I mean, they must have been pretty gross.
I know, and I'm still trying to figure out why the toilet paper, paper towels.
That is going to be a mystery. It's going to be the mystery. I don't know.
I'm trying to figure it out. out because there's still no toilet paper and paper towels. Like it's like trying to search for it at different stores all the time over here in Charlotte, North Carolina. So
yeah, we've been able to. I mean, we stocked up. I mean, I go to like the bulk stores, so I was pretty set on the toilet paper and the paper towels before this happened. So I grabbed whatever. You know, we're pretty good. Plus, some of the stores are starting to get the paper towel and the toilet paper back, even though you're limited to how much you can buy. But the Clorox and the Lysol wipes still nowhere to be found.
Yeah,
and that stuff I kind of live by. You know, I wipe my counters down, my kitchen down all the time. You know, in between everything I do on it. You know, it's kind of like the commercial you always see where the mother's always wiping it down because the father is always spilling something on the counter. You know, that's kind of me. But now it's like I have to buy these industrial wipes from like a car place. They smell like oranges, and it's just not the same.
I feel you because I'm like a Lysol wipe with the Lysol wipes person.
Mm-hmm.
So I always like have that in the house. And so it's like when all this happened, it's like, dang, I can't even find this anymore. So I'm just trying to make do with whatever I can find and have.
Yeah, I mean, we bought baby wipes. Like anything we could get that was like a wet wipe, we bought.
Yeah.
So yeah, baby wipes are good. You know, giving your bathroom a nice little wipe down. In between the cleanings. But the Lysol wipes are just you can't. You learn now that they just cannot be replaced by anything.
Mm-hmm.
So, but. Hopefully they'll be back soon, and then we could all complain about something else.
I know, right? I'm just like, this is crazy. But yeah, back to even talking about fighting and MMA and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
From the last time I seen you, I stepped into boxing, and I was in MMA, and I believe from 2 years ago after I was up there with you in New York doing the big event, I had a couple of boxing fights, so that was really good. And literally now it's just like, okay, I'm in the heavyweight division, and honestly, in the fight world, it's kind of hard to find heavyweight females.
Right.
So I've gone to Ryzen in Japan and fought there, but even still here in America, it's not many. So it's been kind of hard to match up some good fights in being heavyweight. So I even thought about dropping weight, but I don't think my body will allow me to do that.
Yeah, you're not exactly like a tiny woman. I mean, you were like surprisingly tall when I first met you.
Yeah.
You got off the airport ramp, and I was like, oh damn, she's a lot taller than she looks on TV.
Yeah, so my focus, I've been going to the wrestling school over here, getting in the ring. They're not open, but the owner has been so nice to let me just get in there and work. So I've been getting back in the groove of wrestling training, and I had, like I said, before all this happened, I had things lined up, and then things kind of went on a standstill because of the COVID-19 and all this other stuff going on. So I told myself, I'm just going to stay in shape, get in the ring, get it going, get in the groove. And I actually have some pretty dope moves that are new that I can't wait to do.
So let me ask you about the MMA and boxing. Are you using your real name, or are you using your wrestling ring name?
My wrestling ring name.
Okay.
And even in boxing and stuff, they use my wrestling name. They use my gimmick name.
Yeah, I was always worried about it because I've seen video clips of like some of your fights, but I didn't get to see it like from the beginning when you were, introed in and things like that. I just saw kind of like some of the highlights, and I always get like I kind of cringe because I'm just like, oh my god, don't punch her in the face, stop. Like, yeah, I get very upset. I get upset for your face.
Oh, man. Hey, it's part of the sport. It's part of the sport. I try to hit and don't get hit. I also was able to go up to Las Vegas and compete at Worlds for Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, which was a great experience for me. And when I did that, I got first place and competed against some really great people around the world. So it was really nice to meet people in the jiu-jitsu world and go compete and come out and win first place. So that was really exciting for me because it was something I wanted to challenge myself at and see, you know, how far I could go with it.
So yeah, I guess it's safe to say that you just, you know, like to fight.
Yeah, I like I've always I grew up being in sports. I played volleyball and basketball, you know, throughout middle school into high school, and I got a scholarship for volleyball and played in college. So I've always been an athlete and always like challenging myself, and I've always been intrigued with anything physical, you know. And then if it's something I want to try, I would always just go for it. And so I really believe that being able to compete and fight in MMA, boxing, and jiu-jitsu, it all intertwines with who I am as a woman, as an athlete, as a pro wrestler, and even getting back into wrestling, being able to take all these tools that I learned and use it even for wrestling. So I'm excited for that. So I've just been patiently waiting because I have some things in the works that I can't talk about, but I'm just waiting. You know what I'm saying? Like,
it's all right. It's all right. I don't want to, you know, get anybody in trouble for spoilers.
So I'm just thankful, and just thankful to keep doing what I love every day. I love helping people. I love wrestling. I'm thankful that I got to step into MMA and boxing because it only elevated me as an athlete and as a pro wrestler. And just every day waking up grateful, living life to the fullest.
Yeah, I mean, it's not like we could do anything else at the moment. You kind of wake up and it's like, do I go to the front of my house? Do I go in my yard? Do I need to go grocery shopping?
Yeah, I'm pretty much stocked up and pretty much got the hang of what's been going on around here.
Yeah.
I've also been able to, since all of this hit, there's been, they have like the homeless shelters, but a lot of the homeless shelters, they're full. They're basically all full here. So a lot of people been living out on the streets in tents. So every Tuesday, my husband and I and anyone else that's wanting to come out and help, we've been going out downtown Charlotte, feeding. One of our friends has a restaurant, so through our nonprofit, we're able to provide food.
That's great.
Every Tuesday, we go out, give out 200 meals to help the people on the street, and then we drive around looking for them. You know, the rest of the food that we don't give away, we drive around, drop it off at people in the tents or living wherever they're living, and give it to them, make sure they're eating good, and just talking to them about life and stuff. So it's a great experience for me, my husband, and my family, my friends that help out.
Now, I mean, that's an amazing thing. I mean, absolutely commend you and your family. Now, do you guys cook this food? Like, or did somebody donate the food?
Yeah, so one of our friends has a restaurant here in Charlotte called Poi Boys, and it's a seafood restaurant.
Okay.
So we go over there and we prepare the meals, and then we take them out. Sometimes we have spaghetti, sometimes it's sandwiches, so it changes up every Tuesday. And we also just ask people if they want to donate. They can donate, you know, to help us to keep it going while this is going on, just so we can make sure people that are, I don't like saying homeless, I just like saying people that just need the help, you know,
right.
That need a meal to eat. And there's other organizations that help out for breakfast and lunch, but we come in on Tuesdays and we do dinners. So this is like an everyday thing here in Charlotte, because literally you could drive and you just see these, you know, these tents, and it just breaks my heart. I'd be like, man, I wish I had a hotel where y'all could just like take a good shower or something. But they actually got like these portable showers that they bring out there, so they can like come in and like have a clean, you know, take a bath and wash themselves up. So it's been working.
It's amazing. Like you see like hotels that close down, or even hospitals that close down, and it makes you scratch your head. Like, how come they can't make this into a non-profit shelter for people to be able to come in, take a shower, get cleaned up, get some new clothes, get something to eat, and, you know, and then go out and do whatever it is they do during the day. And, you know, it be there in case they need to go back. It's there for them.
Yep.
But instead, these buildings sit there and they decay and they fall apart.
I'm like, I know, I have a problem with that. Like, how can we live in America and not have certain things that really people need? Like, you know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Like, how can we, like, be in this city? How can there be so much money, but we can't really provide something? But got these people, literally, you can drive and see them just, like, chilling on the side in the tent of the highway.
Yep.
Like,
I mean, it breaks my heart even more when, you know, a lot of them are military veterans.
Yeah.
It's like these people died for, you know, these people killed themselves and fought and, you know, for our freedom. So, you know, we can go down the block and eat that Wendy's or, you know, hang out a pride flag or go to, you know, an R-rated movie. You know, we got to thank them for these freedoms, and, you know, they're homeless. And it's like, how are we not taking care of, you know, our military, let alone just our own?
Yeah, that's crazy, because my dad, he served in the military for 40 years, and he retired 3 years ago. And so, you know, I even asked him questions like that, like, how can that just be? You know, like, it just makes me sad to see people that serve this country on the streets like that. And he, you know, he doesn't even really know the answer, just because, like he says, people have choices in their life. But at the same time, it's just like, you know, if there's a place they can go to, you know, we have homeless shelters and stuff. But like what you said, that's something I even thought about in my mind. Like, if they could just have a place where anybody can just drop in to have a shower, have a meal, you know?
Yeah.
That would be great.
They don't even have to stay. They just, you know, they just know it's there when they need it. You know, even if it's, you know, a daily visit, they come in, they take a shower, you know, they drop off the clothes they're wearing, grab new clothes that were donated, and grab a meal. And then, you know, the volunteers wash all the clothes that are brought in so it can be basically recycled. And, you know, it's a nice little, you know, cycle. It's not a vicious cycle. It's a nice cycle, you know. Close in, close out. You know, people come in, they get clean, they leave with a meal. And this would help some of these people be able to get on their feet and maybe go to a job interview and maybe get a job, get back on their feet. And it just, you know, instead we watch these buildings decay and fall apart and, you know, get overgrown with wildlife and that's it. And eventually they fall down or they get knocked down or they get turned into townhouses or some stupid thing like that. It baffles me.
Yeah, it does.
Especially hospitals. That's what drives me nuts. You know, like when a hospital closed down. Like, really, there's nothing you can do to serve the community with a closed hospital? Like, that's crazy. I mean, come on. You just put a bed in each room. That's all you need to do.
Yeah.
It's not making money anyway.
Yeah. It's just crazy. I don't know what's going on in the world. I just like, man, crazy. Besides that, you know, just living every day, just being patient, and staying active, doing everything that I enjoy doing.
Yeah, and hopefully you'll be able to do some, you know, things in, you know, in the next. I mean, we're 6 months into the year now, which is kind of scary if you think about it. I mean, this whole year started right off the bat in January with people fighting over Popeye's chicken sandwiches, and it went straight into coronavirus, and we're 6 months in, and nobody has any idea what the hell is going on. So it's like, now you're starting to think about the holidays coming up, and you're like, all right, what are we going to do if this doesn't, you know, go away? How are we going to be with family for Christmas or Hanukkah or Thanksgiving or Kwanzaa or any other holiday? Like, how are we going to work this? And it's scary because it's like at a blink of an eye, you know, Christmas will be upon us.
Yep, you're absolutely right. It's just so different now. People just like, It's just so different. And you know, even with this protesting going on,
Mm-hmm.
with Black Lives Matters too, it's just crazy because even here in Charlotte, like they had that big old shooting, and it just was so scary. It's just like, I don't know, it's just a lot going on. It's just a lot going on.
Yeah, and I think sometimes our attention, and I don't know if it's, you know, deliberate or not, you know, with our awesome voted in politicians that we have on both sides, and I use awesome sarcastically. You know, sometimes I feel like they do a lot of things to distract us from the important things, you know, like coronavirus and quarantine and things that they're doing, and they want us to focus on something else. And I think people just need to be diligent to what's going on. You know, we're still in a pandemic, regardless if you're allowed to go to a restaurant and sit down or not. You're wearing a mask. It's still a pandemic. You still got to be careful, and you still got to be aware of your surroundings. And you know, and bottom line, people just need to stop being assholes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's true. Just like, you know, at the end of the day, like me, like I just believe all lives matter, but I know like people like Black lives, they feel targeted in a lot of ways.
Mm-hmm.
And so like it's different. Like I have a different point of view because I grew up like being Tongan, and I grew up around all different kind of cultures, races.
Mm-hmm.
So honestly, to me, I know people have a color, but I've never seen, like, I never look at color. I always look at like love everybody, you know. Like I feel like if people love each other and have love in their heart, that's all that matters. You know?
I agree. Yeah, I agree, and
like,
I tell people all the time that.
Like people, like good and evil. People are going to either be good people or they're going to just be evil, or just however they're going to be. You know, so
you know, treat people the way you want to be treated. If you want to be treated, you know, respectively, then you need to do it the same thing. And you know, I tell people all the time. I grew up in a New York City housing project, and you know, there was a mix of everybody, you know, middle class of everybody, white, black, Latino, you know, some, you know, people that came over legally, did like all that stuff. And, you know, this is kind of where they started. Like there was, but we didn't look at it like that, you know, growing up. Even my parents, it was no black, no white, no brown, no Asian, no nothing. It was, you were either an asshole or you weren't. So that's really that's all it was. It's like, if you were a jerk, you know, nobody talked to you because you were a jerk. Nobody cared what color you were. You were either a jerk or you weren't.
Yep.
So,
yep.
And I don't know. I don't get how it just went so sideways.
Yeah.
And I don't blame. Look, everybody wants to shit on Trump and everything else, and I'm the first one to say, you know, he says a lot of stupid crap, and he shouldn't be on Twitter. And sometimes I just sit there shaking my head when he speaks. But this has been going on long before him. You know, maybe now it's magnified because he does say stupid shit, and because we are in a pandemic and everybody's just so in a negative frame of mind because of the pandemic. This just makes it worse.
Yeah.
You know, but it's been going on for a long time, and it doesn't, you know, no statue being up or statue coming down is going to change it. People need to change.
Yep, that's it.
So.
I agree. Like, people just need to change, and people just need to just wake up, you know?
Yep.
Because at the end of the day, it doesn't matter what statue they take down or put up or take out or this or that. It takes that individual, every single person in America, to change for the better for themselves, you know?
Yeah.
So...
and people, it's just a labeling thing that drives me nuts. You know, like, look, yeah, I'm Italian, but I'm from Staten Island, New York. I'm from the United States of America. You know, I'm not from Italy. You know, my grandparents were, so, but I'm not. So, I'm American.
Yeah.
You know, my neighbors one is a white Irish woman and the other is a Puerto Rican woman. They're a lesbian couple. And, I look at them, they're my American neighbors. They were born and raised in New Jersey. So,
yeah.
I don't care who they are and what they do and who they love. Love is love. I don't care about any of that crap. Love who you want. Be who you want. It's not going to affect my life. It's not going to, if somebody wants to be a woman or a man, it's not affecting me. It's, I'm not going to wake up tomorrow and be like, oh my God, that person, changed their gender. So like my life is over. It doesn't affect me.
Yeah.
So let people be who they want.
People's lives as if they're living their lives and get too into their lives.
That's because they must be miserable with their own life.
Yeah, it's
So
true.
Get,
That's true.
get a hobby. Get into MMA.
I know.
Take your frustrations out and punch somebody, but legally.
I know.
See that's what you should. We should have a video webinar by Lei'D Tapa that says let's get rid of hate by making everybody sign up for MMA, and then you guys can all beat the crap out of each other legally and get paid.
Oh, God.
And get paid to do it.
I think a lot of people just need to get in the ring and pow it out.
Yeah, I think they'd feel a lot different, like, either when they're laying unconscious counting stadium lights.
Oh, man. It really is a great workout, though. By the time they're done doing that, they're going to just be over it. They're just going to be like,
Yeah.
I get it. I'm done. I'm tired. My body can't take it.
Some of my good friends growing up, I've had probably the most like brutal fights with, and 2 days later, we just hugged it out and said, all right, it's all out, it's done and over with. Move on.
I know, right?
That's how you know you're good friends, when you can actually get into a physical altercation and still be friends.
And still be friends.
Yep. Oh man. Oh, see, that's it. We're gonna have to start a whole new webinar by you.
Oh goodness. Okay, just let me know when.
Dude.
It's funny because I started doing these workouts at home when all this happened, just to, like in Charlotte, it was kind of like a ghost town for a minute,
Mm-hmm.
So I was like, okay, I'm going to take out all of the equipment I have and turn this one room into a workout room and just work out. And if anybody wants, not at the beginning, but I was just like, if anybody wants to come over just to work out, because I know the gyms are closed, just let me know. And then, I would just post random little workouts here and there up, and people would be like, man, I didn't realize that people would be interested in what I do working out wise. But then I said, I'm like, sometimes I get lazy in filming stuff, and then people are like, can you put up some workouts you do or share them? And then it got me thinking, like, what, I really should do that and be consistent with it just to share. And even some people would just reach out and tell me, like, hey, thanks for putting that video up because I want to try it, during this COVID. I want to try that workout. Can you send me, like, what you guys did? And I would just send it to them and be like, yeah, it really works and you're going to feel it. Try it out. So even though it seemed like it was like a halt for a second, I felt like I've learned even a lot about myself that I can really share things that I do workout wise and help other people in that way too, even if it's over, doing a video.
Well, once you're in the public eye, I mean, which you wrestled on TV and things like that. You gain a following, even though sometimes people don't realize they have one. And, when you post a video here, post a video there, now you're giving people kind of positive feelings and looking forward to that video and trying it out and then be like, oh, wow, I can do that. And, I'm still breathing. I'm good. And then you look to the next video and you're like, all right, let me try that. And you're like, all right, cool. I was able to get out of bed the next morning. I'm good. So, and it's like a positive influence you have on people, even though you're just doing your thing. But since you're recording it and posting it, even though in your head you're like, all right, I'm just doing my thing anyway. I'm gonna make believe the camera's not there. Other people seeing that and they're inspired by it, and I think that's what people need during this, especially ones who haven't been able to go back to work. They just need to be inspired to have a positive outlook.
Yeah, that's absolutely right. That's what I've noticed even about people. Like a lot of people I even know, they lost their job. They you know, and they were getting down and out and stuff. So it's even like sometimes just like sharing with them a positive message, because at the end of the day, they're alive. Like, I just tell them, like, hey, you're still alive and well, aren't you? You know what I mean?
Yep.
Like, everything's going to be okay. You just got to have that mindset and look towards, like, okay, this is happening. Don't take it as a bad thing, because sometimes it might seem bad, but, like, God got something better for you, you know?
Yep. And I also think one of the things that helps a lot of people who are kind of like down in the dumps, they realize that it's everybody. You know, this is this was a worldwide problem, and it wasn't just isolated to like that person or that city or that state. I mean, yeah, there are some drizzling shit states like mine in New Jersey, but it's, for the most part, it has affected everybody. So everybody was able to share some stories. Like some of these, the interviews that I'm doing, wrestlers have come out and gave inspirational stories and advice of, what they do to keep busy, what they do to keep safe. Reach out to me on social media if you ever want to talk. I'm always here. Things like that. And I think, being the wrestling community, despite there being so many fans, it's a small community. I think the outreach is really good, because I would say out of everybody, the wrestling community, for the most part, from what I've been gathering, have been a little less negative than people that don't watch wrestling. So, which brings me to my next question with you. How do you feel about, WWE and AEW, and I guess now Impact, being considered essential and being able to work through all this?
Yeah, I think everything they're doing is great, because I was like, oh my gosh, like, what's up with the wrestling, And I mean, it's crazy, because a lot of things that people look forward to going to with their families, like you said, like wrestling show, like now it's different. So they're taking precautions to trying to make sure everybody's safe and they're doing what they're supposed to do. But, it's so nice that you still can, like, tune in to watch it, even though you might not really hear all the loud screams or see thousands of people in the arena. They're still giving all the fans around the world that love wrestling what they love to see and do. So if they're at home and they can't go anywhere, at least they can tune in to watch wrestling still. It might be a little bit different, but they still get to see that action that they love to tune in and watch.
Right, and then they could go on social media and complain about it. So, I mean...
and then they could go put their 2 cents on social media.
Right, so, I mean, if WWE and Impact and AEW weren't doing, like, all this, entertaining people throughout this, I mean, the wrestling community would be really quiet. They would have nothing to complain about.
Yeah. It's just different, but I'm glad, like, they're all still going, because, I mean, there's a lot of wrestlers that have been, like, even let go in WWE and stuff. So it's like, that's like their livelihood, and then to have that taken away probably because of all this, I'm pretty sure they're like, everybody on a big platform like that, when it comes to TV, are losing a lot of money. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I just don't know how do they rebound from all of that, but I'm pretty sure that they're figuring it out, doing what they can do. But
absolutely. And I look at it like this: these are the greatest professional wrestlers / athletes / entertainers that the business has. Regardless of what company it is, they are the best there is, and at least the best that are recognized at the moment. So, when things are lifted eventually and restrictions are a little lighter, they're eventually going to get work, because they're too good not to get work unless they choose they don't want to do it anymore.
Yeah, that's right.
So, that's why I'm like, people are like, oh my God. I said, look, don't feel bad because people got released.
Yeah.
Because to me, I feel it's totally unfair to keep somebody on your roster and not use them. Just let them sit in the back. Make them travel everywhere, but make them sit in the back and just watch. It's basically being like the 10th man on a 9-man baseball team.
Yeah.
You know, what are you going to do? You're going to sit there and watch? You're going to learn? How much can you learn? You've been doing this for 20 years. I mean, yeah, you can learn every day, but you learn more by being in the ring. So if you get a chance to, they release you, you get a chance to go somewhere else and display your talents, don't feel bad for them. Just, give them inspiration. Say, hey, cool, man, go out, do your thing, kick ass. The fans will always be there for you.
Yep, that's right.
So.
That's right. And I always tell even some of the wrestlers along the way, always have, besides wrestling, something else to fall back on. Like a business. If you wanted to start a business, do your business. If there's something you want to do, because you just never know. Because if maybe if this doesn't work, you have stuff to fall back on. You just don't have one thing to depend on for your, the way you live. So
that's all about being smart with your money, and you're getting paid. Yeah. You're getting paid. Be intelligent with your money. Obviously, your family comes first, but start sinking some money into an investment that you'll be able to lean on when your wrestling days are over. Yep,
and that you'll benefit from, so you just don't be right there. Because I just over time meeting different wrestlers, they're and nothing's wrong with it. When you wrestle, even like me, you're committed to it. That's what you do. Mm-hmm. But also on the other side, don't forget, it's not going to be forever, so what you going to fall back on, So I would tell wrestlers when we sit there and we just talk about things, I just always will share that even with them, just to, even now, when this hit, some of them literally only do that one thing and don't have nothing to fall back on. But I always share with them, just always have, something that you invest in for your future besides just this one thing, because not everything lasts long, but if you're smart enough and you invest your money into something where is longevity and you have different avenues of getting money, you'll be fine. Yeah. And now is the time to get involved in something that maybe you didn't have the time to do or time to invest in, whether it's a hobby or your creativeness or an online business or something that you just, always made an excuse. I don't really have the time for it. I work, 50 hours a week, blah, 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 blah. Mm-hmm. Now's the time, take that chance. See what happens. You got nothing to lose. You're home anyway. Yeah, that's right. And then even in a way, it was like a blessing even to be stuck at home during that period, because I even looked at it even for families, some of my friends were like, man, I'm glad this kind of happened, because in my life we're so busy that we forget about family time or even just being together to eat at the table together and do this and that together. And I said, well, that's really good. So even though you thought it wasn't good, it was good. Yeah, it definitely was. I mean, I'm one of those people that literally post everything I cook on social media. So, so people get to see oh, I guess Kevin's been doing a lot of cooking since he's been home, or I've been posting pictures of my yard and any housework that I've been doing, posting updates. So now I'm back to working, a couple days a week for a couple hours a day, but it's nowhere near where I should be, but you got to kind of ease your way back into, I don't know if anything's going to be back to normal, but I'll take whatever I can get one step at a time. Yeah. Yeah. So what, all things, let's say, start spinning positively going forward. You have anything that you were expecting to do in the later months of the year? Yeah. So I have some meet and greets coming up. But like I said, the one thing that is big for me in wrestling that I can't say, that's what I'm looking forward to. Okay. So whenever that does come out, you'll know, and I'll tell you too. Maybe we'll have another interview. Definitely. So, and I'll share whatever you post. So we always, you're family now. You're stuck with us. I know. Since day one that I met you and we were down there doing meet and greet, you're awesome. You really took care of me and everyone that came in. So I really appreciate you.
Yeah,
and you know I'm down for anything, anytime.
Yeah. You just want to come up and eat the Northeast food. That's all you want.
Yeah, that too, because I do like to eat.
Well, you're like 7 feet tall, so you have to eat, you know.
Yep.
No, she's not really 7 feet tall, ladies and gentlemen.
So once things start getting back in the groove, my main focus right now, like I told you, is just being in my best shape.
Mm-hmm.
But my focus is gearing all towards wrestling.
Right.
I'm not doing anything like as far as fighting wise for MMA or boxing. Everything I'm gearing towards is just wrestling.
All right. I'm happy to hear that. Just love to have you. Because we travel everywhere. We were down in North Carolina last year, so we still haven't caught word whether WrestleCade is running or not Thanksgiving weekend in Winston-Salem. But if they do decide to do that, maybe you can join us at our table.
For sure.
So that'd be great. That'd be great.
I'm down. That's not far from Charlotte.
Yeah. It'll be fun, and you can show us around.
Yeah, for sure.
But I mean, I do. Actually, before we get to that, where can people reach out to you on social media?
You can reach out to me on my Instagram at Lei'D Tapa. That's LeidTapa, or my Facebook, Lei'D Tapa, or Twitter, Lei'D Tapa. Yeah.
Yep, keep it simple and the same.
Yep, keep it simple the same. Lei'D Tapa.
You'll find her somewhere. But,
or Google.
yeah, Google. If all else fails, just Google. But I do appreciate you giving us a call and spending some time with us talking. And, I wish you all the best and definitely hope things clear up so we can look forward to seeing you back in the ring at some point somewhere.
Yes. Yes. I'll keep you posted.
I look forward to it. I'm looking forward to like watching wrestling one day, whatever company it is, and all of a sudden your music hits and you just walk down the ring and kick someone's ass. I'll be running around my living room screaming. So.
Yeah, I'm excited. I think that everything that's been throughout my life, even starting in wrestling, then going into MMA boxing, I think that it all just is meant to happen for what's to come.
Yeah.
And I'm excited just because I've learned so much, gained so much knowledge in so many different areas of fighting, even in wrestling, that I'm excited to come back and just bring it all to, what's next. I'm just excited.
No, it's good. I mean, it gives you something to look forward to, and this is kind of like the second coming of Lei'D Tapa in wrestling. She learned from the first era of Lei'D Tapa, and then she's going to come back even stronger and probably more scary in the second coming.
She's just coming back just 100% ready all the way around the board. Be ready.
Definitely. I mean, I remember you from, your Impact days, and, you were pretty imposing in the ring, and I was kind of pissed off that they never really gave you a legit title chance. But let's see. I think that could change very quickly.
But, everything happens for a reason. So I'm always, I always take things to people that it might be negative. To me, it's not, because I always believe that if something doesn't work for you, it's okay, because you learn from it to grow to be better. You have the choice to be better, or you have the choice to be salty or whatever. I always choose to elevate and grow, because that's just life in general. If something never works out, it's meant to be that way. And it's up to you to take it, learn from it, and grow from it in a positive way, and come back stronger, come back even more elevated within yourself, and show the world.
Yep.
So that's how I look at it, even in wrestling. I had that time that first time go around. This second time go around, she's another beast. She's another beast now.
So we're going to have a lot of people that should be bowing down, right?
Bow down.
I had to get that in there at least once.
That's right. That's right.
But I appreciate you calling us, and we'll definitely be in touch with you about probably everything. And I'm excited for you, and I look forward to everything. And we'll definitely be in touch soon.
I truly appreciate you, Kevin, for having me on. And thank you for this fun interview. And, yeah, for sure, I can't wait to come back on again.
Absolutely. And, continue to be well, and you and your family to stay safe.
Likewise. Thank you.
All right, take care.
You too.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
That was Lei'D Tapa, ladies and gentlemen, the former Impact star, MMA and boxing star. You heard it here. She's going to be getting back into the wrestling ring soon and doing her thing, and I look forward to it. And, Damage 365 Promotions will be front and center on that, bringing Lei'D Tapa around to meet the fans, especially when she's going to be back in the public eye again. So once again, thank you to Lei'D Tapa for coming on the show, and thank you fans for tuning in for this episode of the Indie Super Show. We thank our sponsors, the Funkenstein Wrestling Superstore. Check them out on Facebook at facebook.com/FunkensteinINC. Esposito's Pizza and Pasta of Manasquan, New Jersey, and Matawan, New Jersey, which you can check them out at their brand new location in Matawan, right across the street from the old one. Much larger location with right now outdoor eating. And of course, one of our favorite sponsors, Fast Copy Print Shop of Keyport, New Jersey, where Damage 365 Radio and Promotions gets all of their printing done, whether it's photos, t-shirts, long format posters, windbreakers, you name it. We've pretty much had everything done there. And so that's about it. So as always, we ask that you help control the nitwit population and have your friends spayed or neutered. On behalf of the Damage 365 Radio Network, I'm Coach Kev, and we'll see you next week right here on the Indie Super Show.
I have voices in my